more like some of the older titles that are a bit shorter, more linear. So maybe I'll enjoy Mirage, but I feel like I never see anybody talking about Mirage. So while I am intrigued about Mirage and it being a much shorter game that isn't going to take me all year like this or Odyssey does, I feel like nobody treats it like it exists. Like, before Shadows, it feels still like Assassin's Creed Valhalla was the previous Assassin's Creed game that came out before that point. When it wasn't, it was Mirage. Because I feel like I just genuinely never see anybody talk about Assassin's Creed Mirage. It's like it never came out. Like, maybe that's just because I don't follow enough discourse about these kinds of games. Like, it's not really the kind of thing I go out of my way to look into. It's just, if I see discourse on platforms that I'm on, then I see discourse on platforms that I'm on. But I feel like I never really saw much in regards to, like, the Mirage there. Politics aside, I found the story of Shadows to be very stupid.
Shadows of doom. Even this peaceful valley seems to hold hidden dangers.
I'm taking this boat. I don't know whose this is, but I'm taking it. Reach the Well of Urdir. I'll be honest, I also forgot about Mirage. I assumed right after this was Shadows. Yeah, I think a lot of people forget about it. Apparently, Mirage was initially supposed to be a DLC for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but after they already had 3 DLCs for this game, being Wrath of the Druids, Siege of Paris, and then Dawn of Ragnarok, I guess they figured, this is a bit much here. Maybe we should make it a standalone game. And maybe they could also charge more as a standalone game and be like, hey, this is a return to form for Assassin's Creed. So maybe there's those that didn't play Valhalla and weren't interested in this game format that'd be interested in Mirage. Maybe that's why they decided to do it. I mean, this game was getting DLC for a long time. Like, I always, whoops, come on, Alt-Tab off. I always have in my descriptions, like, the release dates for things and all the information. And I'll have release dates for DLCs as well. Let me look in one of my descriptions for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, because I put in the descriptions the release date for all the DLCs. Let's see here. So this game came out on November 10th, 2020. Wrath of the Druids came out May 13th, 2021. And then the Siege of Paris released August 12th, 2021. And then Dawn of Ragnarok released the following year, March 10th, 2022. So this game that came out in 2020 had DLC that was releasing until 2022. So maybe Ubisoft is like, maybe people want to move on to another standalone game and not keep on having more and more content coming out for years on end for this. I don't know. Mirage was weak in my opinion. Maybe that's why nobody ever really talks about it. Because I swear, I feel like I've never seen anybody talk about Mirage. Like, unless, you know, I bring it up in conversation here and stuff like that. Like, obviously, there'll be, like, some discourse here. But just browsing around YouTube, getting recommendation stuff there, looking on other social media platforms, like, I'll see stuff about, like, Valhalla or Shadows come up from time to time. I never see anything come up about Mirage. So, I have no idea what the heck is up with that. What?! This is the most Canadian thing I've ever seen. Well, maybe second most. Most would be like a moose. Well, here I am. I thought that was water at first and that we were going to be going for a swim. All right, well, down we go, I guess. I don't see anyone talk about AC in general unless it's the politics of Shadows. I know leading up to the release of that game got, like, its fair share of hot water of people getting very extremely political with it. Which, what? Oh. I guess I do that. So there's gonna be puzzles around here? Maybe I'm in the wrong circles, though? Maybe, I don't know. I feel like I'm not on a whole lot of social media platforms. I'm on, sometimes, the platform formerly known as Twitter, nowadays X, just because that's where I get a lot of my going live memes from. And, of course, that being the cesspool that it is, I would see a decent bit of stuff like that coming up before Shadows came out. And YouTube. And those are really the only social media platforms that I'm on. And I, leading up to Shadows launch, got a lot of videos on my channel homepage of people getting political with Shadows. Which, on one hand, kind of surprised me. On the other hand, it kind of didn't at the same time. And I've had the whole discussion about, like, one of the main things that people took issue with AC Shadows, about Yasuke being there. Like, that's not historically accurate. A black man in Japan in this time period. Whereas I was, like, one of the few that actually knew of Yasuke from my history classes in university before Shadows was even revealed. I was a Yasuke fan going into it, and, like, when I first saw the trailers for Shadows, I was like, yo, it's not Yasuke! That's so cool! And then I saw all the political discourse about it. I was like, oh, well, knowing the modern internet, I guess it shouldn't surprise me. Probably very few people in my position going into it as a Yasuke fan being like, yo, he's playable in this game, that's so cool.
Has someone been here recently?
Do you hear me, Javi? This builder is a stranger to us. We know not what he intends.
I am the king of Asgard, Tyr. Do not question my desire to protect her.
Calm, old friend. What's needling you?
A cloud covers Asgard.
Strange omens and wild portents. Something evil is stirring. And I cannot always sift the truth from what is false.
Farseer, you have sight beyond us all. I have no doubts you will prevail over what troubles you.
I will need your strength in the coming days. To anchor me, to challenge me, to pull me back from the abyss should I teeter.
And I will, as long as breath fills me. So I must caution you. Step with care in this place. What happens here may ripple through the fabric of the 9 worlds.
Wow, my ears are still popping from time to time from my flight yesterday. I just got back from BC this past weekend on a fishing trip. And the flight there didn't bother me all that much, but the flight back bothered my ears a decent bit for whatever reason. I'm surprised my ears continued to pop just now. Don't really use the platform formerly known as Twitter anymore. That is more than fair.
These sunstones are meant to guide the light, but the path has been diverted.
Oh fuck, I'm from BC. I was in the Chilliwack area. Abbotsford and Chilliwack was the area that I was in BC this past weekend. I know Yasuke was a real person, but I know they picked him to be there because it made people angry. Maybe, I don't know.
Place must be preserved.
Well, do I...
Be a bane or a boon remains to be seen.
I'm the kind of person that looks at that, I'm like, hey, that's cool. But I know that most... Well... Would it be most? I don't know. I know most wouldn't see it from that perspective of, oh, that's cool having prior knowledge of Yasuke like I did. What? Unseal the well. My grandpa lives in Chilliwack. Nice. Yeah, it was a quaint little place there. And the very first road outside the hotel, my dad is trying to find where we go for our fishing licenses, and on that very first road, it's like 5 lanes, so 2 lanes on either side, then a turning lane in the middle. He just goes right across the road instead of going to the crosswalk area. And of course I have to follow along because that's the way that he's going, and Finn, who's with us, comes along. Car slows down going by and yells out, rolls down the window and yells out at us, "There's a crosswalk right over there, you fucking doofuses." So, yeah, it took the very first road right outside the hotel for my dad to illegally cross and for us to get yelled at. So, there was that. What? Am I dumb? I can't seem to do anything with these things. Can I do... Maybe I can do something with that, though. Is the case. But yeah, we flew in and out of Abbotsford, and then we went to Chilliwack, where we spent time with my mom's cousin, where we went on a fishing trip.
But only one stream.
How do 2 farms share one
Oh.
source of water?
By splitting the stream.
I gotta do this mouse and keyboard or something. Okay, so I have to split the stream and get them both at once? Wait a second. How far over can I go? Wait, what does that do? What am I doing? I mean, people who are knowledgeable in Japanese history, Yasuke is pretty well known just due to how notable he is. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why he came up in my history of East Asia from 1500 to present class. It was a very specific class that I was taking there. Oh, let's see here. And there's so much to go through that, you know, 1500 and earlier is a separate class, and even 1500 to present, they were like, yeah, this is going to be very, very rapid fire, like different countries and time periods across like different units. So it was a lot to take in that class, but it was really interesting. And Yasuke was notable enough that when we were on that unit, we, on the unit of like Nobunaga, stuff relating to Japan. There was Yasuke that was brought into the mix there. There was like a slide on him. I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool. So I thought that was a cool little piece of history there. I feel like that's a really broad history class. It really was. And across all the different units, like, you are jumping across so many different time periods, so many different countries with, like, so much history leading up to the events there. Like, it was a lot to take in. It was probably one of my harder history classes, but one of my more interesting ones. What? How do I split the stream? I don't understand. Let's point it at him and that'll split the stream there. But yeah, so I thought that was something that was really cool. And later when I ended up hearing about it, I checked out an anime that was loosely based on Yasuke there. I thought it was going to be like semi-historically accurate. It was complete fiction with like technology and robots and weird stuff. But I checked it out of curiosity and because I kind of consider myself a Yasuke fan. It was terrible. It was awful. I really wish it was better. But maybe AC Shadows will better sate Yasuke-related media. I don't know. How do I split the stream? Is there like a stream splitter here? It wasn't really touched upon. There's this thing, but that just... I don't understand. I am very confused here. Now, I'm not properly educated, but from my little experience, history classes are very specific, X country, X time period, not just... Well, this is new. I've seen a lot of glitches as I play across every single Assassin's Creed game in order, but this one's new. I've not seen this one in any of the games I have played, and if there was any game that was going to get something like this, it may as well be Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Ha! I can't get off. Oh, yes I can. Okay, that was interesting, wasn't it? Oh, that looks like it could be a splitter. I don't know. But yeah, not just a wide group of countries with a 500-year gap. It was a wild class. It was absolutely wild. So sometimes there'd be a little bit of overlap, like, hey, this country was doing stuff with this country at this time, and you learn a little bit of both at the same time, but, like, not very often. I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta grapple the sky. No, I haven't. Oh. So then that one goes that way. So I need to not use that one for this. That is the splitter. Okay.
They will have come and gone before they feel our presence.
I was about to say, is there a thing to grab there? I can't step over that. But yeah, we'll see about AC Shadows here. Cernal thought I'd get a kick out of it. Can I just point right at it? Wait, that didn't split it. Wait a second.
Now that the light is split, the streams must find their way home.
The light was not split, though. Hold on, what? Wait, is it? Wait a second. What is going on here? Okay. Does that probably doesn't count for that. Hold on, I can probably use this to bring one into the one thing here. But yeah, I know that we've had the Assassin's Creed Shadows discussion multiple times here. But the short version of my take here is essentially like, why do people take issue with it if it's something that they see as political or cultural in some way, and never issue with like what I'm doing right now in terms of historical accuracy, you know? It's always, oh yeah, this stuff gets the pass, that's okay. But the moment you get into anything that can be faintly seen as political, it's gonna get controversial. Like, I don't get it, but that's me. But yeah, to be fair, this is also stupid. Right here. But yeah, Ocarina of Time Spirit Temple, this is not. At least it's not Ocarina of Time Water Temple. At least it's not that, which honestly is not as bad as people make it out to be, I don't think. Okay,
The light has found its mark. The stone is lit.
It's lit, bro. Alright, so then I go this way. Yeah, this is taking me a little bit to figure out here, hasn't it? Okay. And I do like this or something. Black Flag had similar issues with the representation of US colonialism, what with its fictional takes there. And all that, or did people find that controversial? When Black Flag came out, I just remember everyone praising, like, how much they loved it. Including myself. I love me some Black Flag. There we go.
The well is open to us.
I will lead.
Did my swords just vanish for a second there? Collect water from the well. Whoops, I didn't really want to grapple onto that. How am I gonna get out of here again? Okay, well. Some blue flames.
We should not linger.
Interact. Oh. I can't take any of the water back there. It has to be this specifically. Okay. Oh yeah, even though the game was one of the best, you always have those that complain about something and make it more than it needs to be. Yeah, that'll be the case with countless games. But I guess especially when you delve into ones that play around with history and all that. I mean, even ones that aren't in real life history, but are, aw, cute, but are loosely based on real world history kind of fantasy setting. Like, maybe I'll wait until the cutscene's done.
There's no wolf alive I can trust.
Javi, stop!
Out of my way, Tyr! I'll suffer no wolves in Asgard.
This is a sacred place. Killing here is forbidden. You know this, Javi.
Oh, so cute.
Has your mind fled you? You act as though possessed by the spirit of another.
A doom awaits me.
The Nornir warned me. A wolf will be my doom at Ragnarok.
Will you slay every wolf in the Nine Realms to sidestep this fate? Ridiculous.
Take this beast. I want it caged. I would have every wolf and dog in Asgard caged if I could.
To ease your troubled mind, I will do as you ask. We need you focused for the coming war.
Thank you, Courage Bringer, for your steady hand.
When one descends this deep,
What?
there's no going back
So
up.
cute.
Then the only way is further down.
So cute, though. I cannot pet or anything. But yeah, when it comes to people taking issue with stuff like that, one of the things that I found kind of amusing was when I actually took a specific class in university of the use of history in video games. I think the class was just called, like, History in Video Games or something like that. And when I first saw that title, at first I thought it would just be, like, video game history. But no, it was specifically on historical video games and what ways they potentially try to get things accurately, try to abstract the past, and what reasons they might want to abstract the past. What the heck is going on here? It was actually a really interesting class. I did my final essay on the class on Assassin's Creed 2. And it was really fascinating there. I remember while we were talking about how people tend to... What the heck? You don't mean further down like this way, do you? Oh, maybe you do. Was when it comes to people taking issue with social or political aspects, but not really anything else to the same degree. Something that I found interesting was when we talked about how there would be discourse with games like... I forget if we talked about... It was either The Witcher or one of the Dragon Age games, where one of those games there would be depictions of gay relationships, and apparently people would get mad being like, there wasn't gay people in medieval times, when one, yes there was, and two, well, there also wasn't dragons and magic and all this fictional stuff, and three, this isn't our world's medieval times. Like, what are you on about? That was one of the things that stood out to me during those conversations in that class.
Loki.
Should I go this way? Like, what the heck are you even talking about? Like, why is this an issue? But I guess that's also the modern internet here, too. But yeah. From what I remember about Black Flag, did get the actual pirating history on the spot, though. How they incorporated Ben Horgold's capture and turned into a pirate hunting into the game's storyline. Yeah, which is really cool. You are correct, but because the dev studio was Canadian, some of the historical references weren't exactly what the US history books wrote, and was from a perspective outside of US historical renditions. This caused issues with patriotic viewpoints from US media and caused the hoopla that plagued it from the political side. I hadn't actually heard about that before, but now I kind of want to look into that, because now I'm curious. Dragon Age did get hit with the discourse machine on a wide scale, but it took a while.
You went to the well, did you not? And you found what
on
you
the
were
lower part of the slope here. Makes me look so short.
Sacred water, yes. Is the builder preparing his demonstration?
How did the well look? Peaceful, calm, quiet?
What are you driving at, Loki?
Driving at? I'm only curious. The well is a wondrous place. I wish I could see it for myself.
There was a wolf cub with us, trespassing on sacred ground. But Tyr took care of it.
Took care of it? Is he dead?
What's it to you? The wolf lives.
The wolf lives, but Tyr will cage the beast at his hall. I want no free wolves in Asgard.
Ah, yes. Good. A wise decision, Harvey.
I wanted to kill it, but Tyr stayed my hand.
Tyr is pragmatic, and it serves him well. You should heed him more often.
Now tell me plainly, where is the builder?
In a meadow not far from here. Your raven may find the way.
Quest completed. Well traveled. So now I gotta go to this next one here. Defensive measures. I guess that's the one that's already marked here. What? Oh, okay, well, now it is. Interesting. One thing that I can share here quickly, that BC trip that I was on here. Here, I can share some photos of where I was at here this past weekend. So we left on Friday and just got back yesterday. Let's see here. So this was out in, like, Chilliwack area. Sure. Let's post these ones here. At some point, I'll probably put some in my Discord server, but I haven't gotten around to it yet because I kind of didn't think about it. So, like I said, I caught one thing. I caught a leaf. That was the one thing that I caught while we were on our fishing excursion here. But it was a very different fishing experience here. Just taking a boat along the river, like parking alongside and casting into the water there. Just like chilling in the waters. So you have like all these trucks and trailers that all come to the shore like in the morning and all just launch into the water there. And you see boats coming up and down the river, all these mountains around. It was really cool. I actually quite like that. So you see other people with boats along the river there, and some areas we'd go to and we just see these lines full of people just all in the river casting lines. It was cool. And you cast into the river and feel the weight kind of bouncing along the rocks at the bottom and get the weight snagged all the time. It was kind of interesting. I couldn't fish for too long at a time, though, because I have, like, issues with my wrists. And having these, like, 10-foot rods with a weight on the end where I can't quite keep my wrist straight. It's at a little bit of an angle there. My wrists start to flare up from my years of Taekwondo here. But, yeah. It was less that there was gay characters, more because there was a non-binary character. Is that the controversy with the most recent one that I heard about there? Because this class that I took was before the recent one came out. It was either The Witcher or one of the Dragon Age games or something like that, where we were talking about that as one of the examples. I don't remember which. So like having a character referred to with that exact wording in a medieval-esque fantasy setting is a little immersion break, but there are people who exist in history that'd be non-binary from our perspective. Yeah, there absolutely would be. Find and speak to the builder. Whee!
Builder!
If it's even historical accuracy that we want to go for, which in a completely fantasy game, is that what you would want? Nowadays, I know that Assassin's Creed blends like fantasy and real history, but something like Dragon Age that's just completely fiction is like, what does it matter in something like that?